Hey, this is Jake
and Taylor,
and this is our Macbeth project, and we are doing Act 4, Scene 2, and we're just going to explain what the scene's about quick. It's about Lady Macduff and her son getting murdered.
and having an argument over Macduff's departure.
Yes.
We also, in the scene, have Ross, who's a Thane, then you have the messenger, and then you have the murderer.
Yeah. And, alright, so now we're going to talk symbols in Act 4, Scene 2. One symbol we found was Macduff's departure, and it's a symbol because now people think he's a traitor and someone's going to punish him, which is true because his family gets punished because they die. And another big symbol we found is death, which is a symbol throughout the whole book, but especially in this chapter, because Macduff's family gets murdered, obviously, and then Lady Macduff tells her son that Macduff is dead, when he really isn't, because she's upset after he leaves, and because she's gone, it feels like he's dead.
So then another symbol we found was the bird, which Lady Macduff always talks about. And Lady Macduff, she has been left to fend for her child, just like a mother bird. And it's not cool to leave your family unprotected like that. And like, it's not right to do that in that time period.
Cool, man.
Her conclusion is that her husband has lacked human kindness, which is ironic because Lady Macbeth accuses her husband of having too much human kindness. So there is symbols. So now we're going to talk about the importance of our scene. One importance of it was that it showed how everybody viewed Macduff in a negative way because he left Scotland. Lady Macduff sees him as a traitor for leaving his family and thinks that he doesn't have the instincts to protect them. Meanwhile, Macbeth viewed him as a threat, so he had Macduff's family killed because Macduff was starting to kind of figure out that Macbeth was the murderer, and Macbeth didn't want him to completely figure out how to tell people, so to distract him, he murdered his family.
Yeah, and this scene shows how Macbeth is not killing just for political reasons anymore. Now he's just killing because he's frustrated and he wants to keep his power, and Macduff's onto him, so he's just going to kill innocent people. So that's how it shows how boiled Macbeth gets, and like how dire the situation gets, and how it's really getting to him, all the power and all the murder. It becomes like an obsession. Okay, so for this scene, I played Ross and the son. And Ross's lines in the beginning of the scene are when he's talking to Lady Macduff, and he's basically saying, you need to be patient. You don't know if Macduff left because he has fear, or if he's wise to leave. And then he basically says, if, like, I need to go now because I'm going to cry. I'm just going to make you uncomfortable. And then the son comes, and the mom's, like, dissing the father, like, she's like, your father's dead, and he's like, no, he isn't, and then he basically says, you know, he isn't, and then he basically says, you know, he says, she goes, how are you going to live? And he goes, I'm going to live like birds do with what I get. And it means he's going to live with what he gets, obviously. And then he asks her, what is a traitor? And he says, his mom says, all traitors get hanged. And he's like, why would you be a traitor if you're going to get hanged? It's stupid. And then after the messenger comes, the murderer comes, and he basically says, he's like, you're a liar, because the murderer calls his dad a traitor, and he goes, you liar. And then he gets stabbed, and he says, I'm dead, mother, run.
So, there are many meanings in Lady Macduff's lines. For example, the first line is her wondering what went wrong for Macduff to want to leave. Then in lines 3 through 5, she's talking about how Macduff's fear is making everybody else stressed. And lines 8 through 16 are her way of calling Macduff dumb for leaving and explaining how he lacks the instincts to protect his children. And she also thinks he does not love them because he left while his son is growing up. And she thinks that fear runs his life instead of the love for his family. Line 31 is Lady Macduff's way of saying he's a good father for never having a father. Lines 35 and 36 is her way of saying Macduff is dead to her since he left, and she does not understand how her son will go on. Line her since he left, and she does not understand how her son will go on. Line 38 is her thinking her son will eat worms and flies. Lines 40 and 41 is her saying to not fear the problems that could occur. Line 45 is her trying to make her son think that Macduff is dead so she can cope, and she is wondering how her son will go on without a father. Line 47 is her thinking she could get a new husband anytime. Lines 49 and 50 is her thinking about how her son speaks intelligently for a child. Line 54 is her saying a traitor is someone who swears and lies. Lines 56 and 57 is her saying everyone who swears and lies is a traitor and must be hanged. Line 59 is her saying everyone who lies and swears is hung by people who don't lie and swear. Line 60, line 54 is her saying a traitor is someone who swears and lies. Lines 56 and 57 is her saying everyone who swears and lies is a traitor and must be hanged. Line 59 is her saying everyone who lies and swears is hung by people who don't lie and swear. Line 65 and 66 is her hoping that God will help her son now that he does not have a father. Line 70 is her not being able to understand how her son would talk about a new father. Lines 81 through 87 is her wondering if she should leave because she did nothing wrong. She realizes how she lives in a world where everybody does harm, and if you do anything good, it is dangerous. She's wondering if she should stand up for herself and say she's done no harm. Lines 90 and 91 is her hoping that Macduff is somewhere where nobody can find him.
Now we're going to talk about theme.
So the theme is, for our scene, it's when someone leaves, people become bitter. Lady Macduff says all these bad things about Macduff because he's left. For example, for lines 8 through 16, she says, wisdom to leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansions, and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly. He loves us not, he wants the natural touch, for the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight. Her young ones in her nest against the owl, all is the fear, nothing is the love, as little is the wisdom, where the flight so runs against all reason. This means that she thinks Macduff doesn't love her anymore, and that he has no instincts of protection.
And another example of the theme throughout the whole book, one theme we found was how Macbeth, people will stop at nothing to get what they desire. And you see this as Macbeth kills everyone throughout the book. And you see this, like in this scene, he kills Macduff's family. And it kind of shows how he's becoming more evil. He's not nice anymore. So he's not killing people for political reasons anymore. Like Lady Macduff and her son are completely innocent, and he just killed them. So this just adds to that theme. And that's it.
What had he done to make him fly the land?
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom to leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly. He loves us not, he wants the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fly. Her young ones in her nest against the owl. All is the fear, nothing is the love, as little is the wisdom, where the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest cause, I pray you school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the 'tis of the seasons. I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves, when we hold rumor from what we fear, yet know not what we fear, but float upon a wild and violent sea. Each way and none, I take my leave of you. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things at the worst will cease, or I'll climb upward to what they were before. My pretty cousin, blessing upon you.
Fathered he is, and yet he's fatherless.
I am so much a fool. Should I stay longer, it would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Sire, your father's dead, and what will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, mother.
With worms and flies?
With what I get, I mean, and so do they.
Poor bird, does never fear the net, nor lime, the pitfall, nor the gin.
Why should I, mother? Poor birds, they are not set for. My father is not dead, for all you're saying.
Yes, he is dead. How will thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
Why, I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy him to sell again.
Thou speakest with all thy wit, and yet eat faith with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Everyone.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
Then the liars and swearers are fools, for there are liars and swearers enough to beat the honest men and hang up them.
Bless you, fair dame. I am not to you known, though in your sight of honor I am perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly, if you will take a holy man's advice. Be not found here, hence with your little ones. To fright you thus, methinks I am too savage. To do worse to you were fell cruelty, which is too nigh for your person. Heaven preserve you, I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm, but I remember now I am in this earthly world where to do harm is often laudable, to do good sometime accounted dangerous truly. Why then, alas, do I put up that womanly defense to say I have done no harm? What are these faces?
Where is your husband?
I hope in no place unsanctified where such as thou mayst find him.
He is a traitor. Thou liest, thou shag-eared villain. What, you egg? Young fry of treachery. Run, mother. I am dead. I beg you.
Go.
What, you egg? Wow, poop. Okay. Then buy him to sell him again.
Thou speakest with all thy wit, and yet ye faith with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
He's got 2 lines.
Oops. Don't.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm, but I remember now I am in this earthly world where to do harm is often laudable to do good sometimes accounted dangerous fully. Why then after a foot of that womanly defense to say I've done no harm?
What are you doing? You're just coming now!
Blueberry!
Wait, we should.
Go.
Wait. How about this? You run out.
Mom, could you hold something for us, Mom? With Amber films it. You just need to hold this up.
I'm gonna kill you.
Jay,